Thank you very much for sharing in this video so that our viewers could get a perspective from you. Can you share with us your name and what type of cancer you have?
Mike Crum, I have acute myeloid leukemia.
Leukemia, okay. And how long have you been dealing with this?
We found out about it in October of last year. And it started with just a routine blood tests to my annual physicals.
Oh, so that's
primary
how they found
care
it.
physician found it a little before that, and we watched it a little bit. Then he sent me to a hematologist, and the first one just kept watching it, and finally ended up with another physical the next year. And then my primary care physician said, "No, this is not, we got to do something else." So we went to a different hematologist. They did a blood test, and he thought I had something else. They did a bone marrow biopsy, and then it came out AML. So
Okay, AML.
acute
Okay.
myeloid leukemia. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I know you've just recently gone through the bone marrow transplant. And what do you think was one of the hardest things you went through physically and emotionally during that time?
Mostly it was most of it's been pretty good. When I was going through the initial chemotherapy for the killing the cancer, one of the holidays, which was Thanksgiving, which has always been traditionally a good family time for us, I ended up in the hospital by myself with no family, although just on the phone calls. But that's been the only really bad emotional thing. Physically, when I was doing the preparation with the chemo and the methotrexate for prepare the body to accept the stem cells. On the third round of the methotrexate, I had a really bad mucositis, which is a swelling of the mucus problems, and it turned my face swelled up and my throat was swelling shut, and had hard swallowing, and it was getting close to being having a hard time breathing. So they gave me some steroids, and a couple 3 hours after that, it knocked the socks off it.
And you were fine.
And it was fine after that. So, and then on the fourth round of the methotrexate, I insisted to do the steroids prophylactically. And I kind of had to talk them into it, but not too much. They said, "Oh, okay, well."
Yeah, you've had a serious reaction.
Yeah,
We're gonna take care of that. Okay. And is there anything that you've done to help yourself stay positive, or is there something you do to keep yourself busy? Because it's a lot of sitting around in a hospital bed.
Yeah, I spent over 4 months in a hospital bed total time so far, and you lose all your muscle tone, and the TV's not that great. Right,
you don't get all the channels like you might at home.
But when I was going through the BMT, I had all these books I was going to read, but something in that process, my eyesight's gone to pot, and it's hard to read because it's blurry.
Right.
So I can read my phone because I can make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of stuff, but all the books I brought, I haven't been able to read yet. So.
Right, so it'd be hard to adjust the font on that because it's in print. Yeah, so, okay.
So, and then they tell us that we got to wait 6 months after all this is done before we should go see the optometrist, get the eyes checked out. So it's still constantly changing.
Right, so you're in flux right now, so you have to just kind of bear with it for the moment.
So far, I mean, going through it, I mean, what are you going to do?
Right, exactly. And then how long do you have to wait? Like, how many days is the recommended or day for you to look forward to for leaving? Is it 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? It's about
90 days.
About 90 days.
About 90 days, yeah.
Yeah. So I was wondering if it's because my husband has lymphoma, and I was wondering if it's any different. You have leukemia,
right?
But you both had the donor transplant, which is the allogenic transplant, and so because you both had donors, you're both pretty much on the same schedules.
Right.
Yeah.
And with the allogenic, it takes longer for everything to do its thing than it does if you had your own stem cells. But since I had the leukemia, they couldn't use my own.
Yeah, and that's why you have to stay close to the hospital for quite a while, and
And so far, all our return visits have been pretty routine, having no complications at all.
They say boring is good.
Yes, they did. They keep telling me how well I'm doing, and I'm going, well, how are other people doing?
Right, exactly.
So.
And that's one of the reasons we're doing the video, is so other people can see how other people, what they're going through, so that they don't feel alone, or think things that might be helpful, or just if they're getting ready to go through a BMT, then they can know, okay, this is something that could happen, or they, this is one idea I could do to, kind of keep myself busy or something like that.
Yes, the important thing to know is that everybody's experience is going to be different.
Right.
I had very little trouble with it, and we've met some people that had some problems going through the whole thing too. So it's just everything in between.
Everybody is completely different and unique, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, one thing that you had mentioned before I thought was very interesting, that's completely different than the lymphoma cancer, is that with the leukemia, you had genetic testing.
Yeah, my family had a history, or my dad and my uncle died of another blood dyscrasia, and which they said initially wasn't hereditary, but turns out it is. So they wanted to test my brothers if they could be potential donors, but when they found there's a marker on one of my chromosomes that it was hereditary, they basically ruled them out. So we had to go with an unrelated donor, totally.
Right. So
and that's why they couldn't use my stem. Well, they couldn't use my cells either, because I already had the leukemia, and they didn't want a chance of reintroducing that again.
Right, which is smart.
Don't want to go through this again.
Yeah. And I know that they kind of shared, I thought the whole process was very interesting, that they shared where your donor may have come, well, your donor did come from out of the U.S., right?
Well, we don't know for sure. We'll be able to find out in a year. And then we can make contact through third parties and stuff. Okay. We found out that the majority of them come from either Germany or Poland. Okay. Because they got to go, when they're 18, they got to put 2 years of service, either civil service or military service, and they all get tested to be donors. And we joked around that after I had the stem cells, I had a strong urge for a bratwurst and sauerkraut,
So we're thinking maybe Germany then.
Yeah, get my German roots out of me too. So.
Exactly, right? So is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, it's just it's been something you just got to resign yourself to. You got to go through. Right. And they keep asking, well, how can you be so positive about it? Well, I mean, if you be negative about it, you're going to be negative, and it's not going to help at all. Exactly. Going to dig yourself a bigger hole that you got to crawl out of, right? Yeah. So you might as well just try to bear with it, right? Right, and I've got powers greater than me watching over me too, which makes a big difference, I think. So. Yes. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and I appreciate you being so open and honest. Well, thank you.